All right, you're watching TVC Breakfast. Let's get into our next discussion. On May the 31st, 2028, President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Not Too Young to Run bill into law. This was part of efforts to get young Nigerians to be more involved in politics. Data has shown over the years that Nigerian youths have an apathy towards participating in politics. The 2019 election saw a good number of youths contest the presidential poll, but none made much impact at the ballot as the turnout of young Nigerians to vote for their own was very poor. Now, election season is upon us, and next year, Nigerians will head to the polls again. Youths are being encouraged to participate more in the process by registering for their permanent voter cards, contesting elective positions, and also going out to cast their ballot. This is the crux of what we'll be talking about. So with me in the studio, our youth development advocate, Muhammadu Buhari. It's nice to have you join me. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Great, great. And we also have Ejiro Sagwa here. Good morning, one of our regulars.
Morning, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Very good. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Now, okay. Now, let me start with you, Ejiro, first. The point there is, when it comes to this youth participation or involvement in politics, it looks like the first thing that comes to mind is a young person, or say 20 years or 25 years or 30 years, you know, going into an elective position to be elected as governor or a House of Rep member or House of Assembly or local government chairman. And is that what it's all about?
Yeah, thanks once more for having me here. Before we came in, I was having a chat with Muhammadu MD, you know, about politics, youths in politics. And I think it doesn't just start with elected offices. You know, when I mean, the age bracket for youth in Nigeria is about 18 to 35, thereabout, you know. So it starts from registering, you know, to become a voter, you know, taking part in the process, you know, learning and following up, you know, with the political process, you know, taking part in voting, in being aware, you know, because if you look at it from 20, it's only when you are 25 that you can start running for either House of Assembly or, you know, if you are 30 governor, 35 president. So between the age of 18 to 25, you have like 7 years to learn the ropes, you know. So I think it's like taking part in the political process first of all, you know, having those political awareness, you know, knowing what you're going for, being focused, you know, like, I mean, why do you want to run for office? You know, what do you expect from your leaders? How do you hold them accountable? You know, it's not just about elected offices, not at all. It's, you need to start from somewhere. Yeah. You know, start from the, like I was telling him, start from the local government, go to the House of Assembly, then, you know, you start moving up like that. You don't just come up and say, I want to be governor, I want to be president. What structures do you have? You know, what do you really know about politics? You know, so I think that the youths really, you know, need to be more aware, need to be more involved, and need to be more focused. We're talking about value. You know, value. Elected offices is to really add value and to serve. You know, so what is the reason for youth involvement? Is it that they want a good government, or is it that they want a good life, or is it that they want to be, you know, personally enriched? You know, what is the reason for youth involvement in politics? You know, it's not just to sit and criticize. No, it's to take part in the process and add some value.
Okay, Muhammadu, as a young person who has been an advocate for youth involvement in politics, at the point, how critical is it for young people really to be involved in the process?
Okay, so for me, I have a reservation as regards youth involvement in politics. We have been involved, and if you look at the data, it shows that we have actually been involved. So we have taken the discussion away from youth involvement in politics to youth involvement in leadership, because we felt like, okay, if the data shows that in the last election, about 51% of voters are actually young people within the age of 18 to 35, and some people at 47 still claim to be youthful, and you still see a data that shows that between the age of 35 to 50 is still 29%, showing that between the age of 18 to 50 is actually 80% of the total voters. So it shows that we have been involved in the process. We are the one you use for conducting the election. Whatever you name it, is still the youth involvement. So the point is just youth involvement in leadership, and we see it like it's a difficulty that is not actually coming from us.
All right, if we let's narrow it down to this issue of youth involvement in leadership. Wow. What can you put it in context so that we understand? Okay. If we're separating politics from leadership, let us know what the context is.
So the point is this now. So majority of us, like you said, some of the youth that contested for elective position last election,
2019 election,
couldn't make it here because Nigerian politics is very expensive to run, and they've create an atmosphere that it will be difficult for you to come into because some of these headers see us as threats, and they believe that if they allow us to take the process into our hand, things can go the wrong way. Like I was discussing with him outside here, he said they see us as threats. Yes, they see us as threats, and they feel like the mentorship thing is not here in this country. You know, in advanced country, you see somebody mentoring Obama for a very long time, and eventually he started from assembly to the post of presidency. But in Nigeria, many politicians are the top fathers. We are actually contest for elected position like governorship, president. Yeah, any youth going for that position knows that there's this thing they call exponential experience is too paramount to be discarded. You don't just wake up one morning and go into position. No, you start from somewhere. But are they giving us room to start? Contesting House of Assembly or councillorship in Nigeria is as expensive as you traveling out of the country. So they make the process very expensive for us to even get into that leadership position.
Yeah, well, the point there is, it will be easy to accuse the older generation of not giving, but the point there is, this thing cannot be handed over to anybody.
Exactly.
So if you know your power and you know the potentials you have, it is time to organize yourself in a coordinated manner, not to disrupt or destroy, but the point there is that when you become a formidable force, nobody can stand on the... That's what we're talking about, isn't it? That's what should be, isn't it?
Do you believe in this Yoruba proverb that says,
unfortunately, I don't speak Yoruba.
Okay,
but so let's understand.
I can just explain to you literally that if you have been in the game for a very long time, you tend to master the game. So until you're actually showing some techniques and tactics to some people, it may be difficult for them to beat you. So let me tell you a process that we discovered recently. There would have been inflation in the country, and maybe somebody like me just trying to aspire for a position. I've been doing very well. So a day to the election, somebody somewhere that understands the process will just come with a lot of money and going to tell a woman that sells akara to take 5,000 naira and cast a vote. She will have to go for it. We are not going to blame her because, of course, she's hungry. She thinks of other people at home. She wants to go back home too. So it's crazy until they actually allow us.
Okay. The point there is, the fact is that nobody is going to allow anybody in that context. In the allowance that is given is part of what the president has said. Okay, fine. Sign this not too young to run bill. Create more room so that people can be eligible. That eligibility by law is part of it. So what you do with that is totally your, isn't it? But talk to us from that window. When it comes to this politics leadership thing, it seems money, funds, is very prominent in what makes it what it is.
Yes, Mike. Last night, as I was just thinking about today's program, you know, I stumbled upon my passport. This is my first passport. I got it in 1979.
Whoa!
When I was 8 years old.
That's a long time.
And I went to London with my dad. And the exchange rate then, if you look at this, you'd see 247 naira 94 kobo bought 195 pounds. That was in 1979, 42 years ago.
Good old days.
Today, you will buy 195 pounds for over 100 and something thousand naira. So 200 naira of 1979 is like 100 and something thousand naira in 2022.
Wow.
So I think about my children and think about Nigeria. I think that 1,000 naira in 1979 with this calculation is now 600,000 naira. So 1 million of 1979 is now 600 million. Wow. So if we continue like this, where are we going in this country? So I expect the youth. Meanwhile, I mean, I'm 50, so I think I'm in between the youth. I like to feel like I'm youth, you know. I say I'm 15, you know, 15
youth is in the mind. Everything is in the mind.
You know, so I think that the youths of today need to be more strategic.
Okay.
You know, they want strategy. It's originated from the military term. You know, it's a military term from a discussion in 1770 in Europe on military operations. So to be strategic means, you know, to apply yourself in a way that you get the results. But the question is, what results are the youths expecting? I just rolled this out about the economy. You know, the economy of Nigeria, you know, has been taking a nosedive. We need intelligent people, intelligent youths that can be focused enough to provide solutions. I don't think that it's necessary for our youths to spend so much energy criticizing. You know, we want constructive criticisms. What do you have to offer? You're running for the position of House of Assembly. What do you have to offer? What is your manifesto, so to speak? You know, what are your core values? What do you stand for? You know, are you accountable? You know, are you diligent? You know, are you flexible? Do you have integrity? You know, are you innovative? Those are things we're talking about. Do you go for nurturing? Do you go for mentorship? Are you trustworthy? Do you walk in truth? So what values do you have that you are bringing into leadership? You know, you talked about differentiating politics and leadership. You know, I think that's semantics. You know, basically leadership, you know, involves politics. Politics involves leadership. So what we're talking about, let's get down to the issues. MD, you're running for House of Assembly. What do you want to do for your people? How do you want to do it? The solutions to Nigeria's problems are simple. You were having a discussion with the gentleman earlier, and he said, look, he came with a chemistry textbook that SS1 students can know the solution on how to provide their refineries.
Exactly.
So look, youth, Mr. MD, you know, what do you want to do? You know, just tell us, you know, tell us how you want to change the equation.
That's the question.
Yeah,
so for him, like I said to my people, I said that it's for us to understand the game and still play the game the way they understand it and also beat them at it. So for me, I wouldn't want to divulge more on that part that is sticking me to. He's my friend, although he's so far away there. So what I'm looking at is we analyze that this is a problem, but we realize that, you know, we are of the tech world. So we're actually saying, okay, let's do crowdfunding. So if it costs 2 billion naira to run an election,
beautiful.
Yeah, we'll do crowdfunding, and we have been doing marvelously well. We are just trying to use our own system to test run and see if other people that are coming on board can actually vie for higher position. Okay, so now the good thing is that majority of us are not professional politicians, but professionals in politics. So like I was saying, until we start running the country like we run our own businesses, we may not be getting results. But you can see people that are actually doing very well now, the nation that are doing very well now, have so many youths in position, not the leadership per se, because it's difficult for you to make me a president now in this country. It will be very difficult, no matter how smart I am.
What makes you think so?
No. It's what I know. So let's be sincere with ourselves.
No, but what makes you think so?
No. This goes beyond psychologically. Psychologically, if you are in a position that you have to make decision, there are some certain age that you shouldn't even be contesting for it. Truth be told, some certain age you should not contest for a position that decisive decision. So you think somebody like me will wake up in the morning?
Is it because you don't have, you feel you don't have the capacity?
As at this point now, I cannot sign a death warrant.
Okay. So you don't have the capacity.
I don't have the capacity now.
Fine. So that's very good. When we talk about the issues, now those are the issues.
Yeah. So no.
Do you understand?
That's for major elective position.
Which is major. All of them are major.
No.
Every elective position, you are in one position or the other to contribute to a decision that impacts people's lives and destiny. Okay. So the point there is, all of them are major. So whether you are a counselor, whether you are...
No.
They are all major.
Those one is brainstorming. We do that one a lot when we're in school. So when you're trying to actually being in House of Assembly or House of Rep or House of Senate, so this is an issue they will bring forward. They want you guys to do more of a debate, argue something, bring out your points and what have you, and come to a final conclusion, which is superb. Start from there. It's good. So you learn the process. When somebody is actually bringing a budget, you rectify the budget, you look at it, and you learn from it. You know what also person does also here that doesn't go well. You also learn from it. So by then, after spending for 1-2 times there, you cannot contest for a decisive position. Like I call it decisive position, because if you are in a governorship position or presidential position, of course, you have to make some decision by yourself.
Well, the point there is just, I guess it's just the perspective of how you see it. Okay. Because as far as the Constitution is concerned, the Constitution creates, what is government? Government is made up of 3 arms. By which, if it is not 3 arms, then it is not complete. And the point there is that there are the functions of checks and balances.
Yeah, of course.
Every arm of government can check the other and prevent it from conducting his assignment. So
the point
there is, all of them are major.
Okay.
The fact that we have a chief executive who is meant to append signatures and all of that, but then there is another arm of government that creates the law that if you make this signature, this is what it means.
So what did they refer them to?
Sorry?
You said chief.
The chief executive.
So what did they refer to as an assembly member?
They are lawmakers. Do you
get? So that answers your question.
Yeah, fine. So that's what I'm saying. So the point is, they are all, when you're referring to some as major and others, because when you say major, then there must always be a minor.
Of course.
So the point there is, all of them are major in their context, because they rely on each other.
Of course.
The budget you're talking about, there's no way you can sign a budget if the assembly does not give you the go-ahead to sign budgets. So that's the thing. But Adrian, the point there is, let's talk about the issue of involvement of women now.
Okay.
In this context, because when the youths are pushing from the other side, the women are also pushing from the other side. And these are all the things that are, the issues within, give these people 35%, give youths their quota and all of that. Do we have to, break it into the differences of youth against elders, men against women, and all of that? What are we looking for all in the first place?
Mike, before I answer that question, I just want to respond to something that MD said, about not wanting to sign a death warrant. I think at his age, yes, you can run for the position of a governor. Yeah. So at 30, governorship is 30, yes? You should be able to, muster that strength of responsibility to sign what you need to sign as a governor.
Learn from somewhere.
And another thing I want to say is, General Yakubu Gowon, at what age was he the head of state in Nigeria? So the age thing is a matter of the mind, really. It's your content. What do you have inside your head? What do you have inside your heart? What do you have to offer to the people? Okay, so don't limit yourself. I encourage you to don't limit yourself. Don't set obstacles for yourself. The Constitution has already given you an opportunity to become a governor at 30. Why do you say you don't want to take it up? He has given you the opportunity to become a president at 35. Why don't you want to take it up? Why do you think you are not capable? The Constitution says school set is enough for president. A graduate is saying it doesn't. No, you must take up that responsibility and rule. Take it up. If you are going to politics, don't limit yourself. So going into the issue of gender and all that, I think it's a level of it is the level of the democracy we have today. We ran a militarized system for such a long time that we are gradually getting back into democracy. It is because of the stage we are right now. That's why we are saying let's legislate women, and it's supposed to be a level playing field. Let the voters decide who they want. Present yourself. If they want you, they vote you in. Yeah. Simple. But at the stage we are in now, we are trying to to balance the equation, so to speak,
and give carry everybody along.
Exactly.
So one way or the
exactly.
Other. Anyway, there will be time for us to discuss this more and also look at other sides that concern this issue. But we have to leave it here now due to time. Ejiri Sagwa, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you, Mike.
And Muhyiddin, thank you very much for coming as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and certainly we hope that you will build the courage enough. If that opportunity comes, you have to take it.
I want to see him as Mr. Governor.
Thank you very much.
All right.